my 30 female husband, 35 male, ruins all occasions and events by sulking.
Ooh, okay.
I really love my husband. He does a lot for me and is an all-around great guy. Sure, we have a few issues, but we are mostly working around them, and that's all right. But one almost deal-breaker kind of issue that we have is that when he gets upset, he gets really upset. And that can be before important events or date nights, and that ruins the event. That's not to say that I don't fight with him before events too. It'll be me being annoyed, pointing out something, then him saying sorry or refuting my allegation, then I'll just consciously decide to either resolve it or shelve it till later and continue having fun at the event. But he stews in it like a wet towel if he gets angry, and then just sulks through the event, and that ruins my mood at the event. Example, yesterday I had tickets for a comedy show which we were supposed to go to. He was at the venue on time, and I was stuck in traffic and pouring rain and reached half an hour late. I had met up with a friend for drinks prior, and I did try my hardest to schedule enough buffer time. I told him to please wait comfortably in the car as I was getting there late, and I gave him a screenshot of the ticket so he could go in before I came also. He told me they were not accepting screenshots, but wanted to see them on my phone. By the time I got there, he was extremely angry. I apologized profusely and showed the people the same screenshot, parentheses, and they accepted it?
Weird. What?
Yeah, I think that's weird. And we went in. He was sulking the whole show, did not laugh or smile. I tried so hard to hold his hand and try to cheer him up, to no avail, and then we canceled the dinner date we were going to go on and came back home. He said he was getting bit by mosquitoes, parentheses, could have sat in the car, and he was not let in, but we were let in with that same code. This makes me feel like he's allowed himself to get extremely angry on purpose. Contrast this with, we had a huge fight once before going on a hike, and I cried a lot the night before, but the next morning I decided to have a good time and then sorted it out once we got home. And we did. In our 3 years of dating, almost every trip, every Christmas, every birthday, every activity I had planned had gone this way. Because when he gets angry at something small, he will not accept your apology. He will he'll not let you salvage the situation. He will just sit there silently and sulk. There was one time I made a throwaway comment which was not even rude, which he misunderstood during a trip, and then the rest of the trip was him sitting there silently, me apologizing and being irritated at the same time.
Jesus Christ.
We have a great marriage otherwise, but I have panic attacks about having to give up all the fun things in life because my companion is like this.
I don't want to... I mean, listen, if you're already at the point of panic attacks, but
yeah,
okay.
That's wild. I sometimes wish he wasn't there so I can now have fun. I am so scared that the rest of my life will be like this. Before we went on a recent vacation to Thailand, which we planned for months, I told him, if you sulk and fight on this trip, I will never travel with you again. I don't know if that worked or what, but we didn't fight.
Okay.
All right. This is especially weird for me because my mom was this way. Every event was ruined because she got upset over something tiny and wanted to punish us with her mood. I got to a point where my dad stopped inviting her, parentheses, or even telling her about the things he was planning to do. I am scared that's where my relationship is also headed. How do I fix this? What should I do in this situation? Too long didn't read. Husband gets upset, skulks and ruins all occasions, trips, and events. I want to experience these fun and amazing things with him, but I am scared that this negative attitude he brings will ruin all fun events and occasions in my life. What should we do? Edit 1, random thing. But when we eventually fought about it, he said, you want to be let off the hook for your mistake, and that's why you expected me to get over it soon. Like, man, I didn't. Talk to me about how disappointed you are later. I wanted to be let off the hook for 1 or 2 hours where we watch a show and have dinner. That's not too much, right? Edit 2, for people advising me to leave, I am soft exiting, in the sense I am trying to see what life alone will be like for me. I've gotten a job in a different country that will keep me away for 2 years at the least. I could extend it if I wanted. The employers have shown a lot of interest in me making it permanent. It will be a long-distance marriage at that point, but I need to give myself a chance to see what a life without him will look like for me. If that life is better, then that's what it'll be for me.
My husband cheated on me with our best friend. They don't know that I know. Ooh, they're gonna find out. They're about to find out. It's about to get messy. My 27 female, soon-to-be ex-husband, 27 male, cheated on me with our best friend, 27 female. I want to tell him that I know, but I don't know what to do. Hi all, I'm sorry that this is long, and I'm sorry if it's confusing. By the way, this comes from Alas, It's Cass on the OK Storytime subreddit. So, back in November of 2023, my soon-to-be ex, Jay, sat me down and told me that he wasn't in love with me anymore while our best friend and roommate, Marie, was away on work trip. I begged him to try and work it out and go to couples therapy, and at first he agreed. Quickly after he asked me for space, and I went and stayed at my sister's house out of state for the entire month of December 2023 while he and Marie stayed at the house. Marie didn't reach out to me once, and she was supposed to be my best friend. New Year's weekend, Jay asked me if he could have even more space and asked that we don't talk for the weekend so that he can think about our relationship. I obliged, hoping he would want to stay, but in my heart, I knew it was over. On Monday, New Year's Day, I called him midday because I was under the impression that I could since the weekend was over. He didn't know, but he accidentally picked up my call, and I heard him yelling about how I was annoying to him, and he was doing exactly what he said by not answering my calls, so I hung up the phone. Eventually, he called me back, and I asked him why he was yelling. He told me someone cut him off while he was driving to Walmart. He told me he couldn't talk as he was doing something for work. I got panicky about the lack of communication with our marriage on the line and called Marie. She never picked up the phone and eventually texted that she was driving back from a rave she went to that weekend and couldn't talk. Or maybe you were driving back from an affair. Later on that day, I told Jay that I could feel that something was off, and he called me and told me that he wanted a divorce. I flew back home in January thinking we could live in separate rooms and fix up the house to sell. It's in both of our names. Maybe a week or two into that, he told me he couldn't live with me anymore. Due to my pay and how we split up our pets, it made the most sense for me to move out and for him and Marie to stay. Hindsight is 2020. After I moved out, I went over to the house almost weekly to do my laundry, and I attempted to be friends with him. The next 10 months, I was devastated trying to figure out why Marie was pulling away from me and barely giving me the time of day. Jay was telling me one thing and talking to me like he cared that I was struggling with his cited reasons for the divorce. He called me manipulative, but said he knew it wasn't malicious, but it was all talk. I know that being friends right after a separation isn't smart, but they were my only support system as I live halfway across the country from any friends or family. The whole time, I thought something was going on between Jay and Marie. But they both said no, and I felt guilty for thinking that low of my best friends, LOL. I was tearing myself apart. I was in therapy weekly and questioning every single thought I had, wondering if I was being manipulative. I wanted to die. Moving back a little bit so we can move forward, Jay had quit his job back in February when I moved out, and finally found one that was going to hire him in September on the East Coast. We decided that we would sell the house. In September, when I went over to do laundry with my clothes already in the washing machine, Jay and Marie told me that Marie was going with him. They told me again that nothing was going on between them after they sat and stared at me for 20 minutes while I tried to form a coherent response while having a panic attack and having them tell me that they need to be selfish and think about themselves. I escaped to the laundry room, sat down on the floor, and sobbed. Eventually, Marie came in and found me and held me while I was sobbing. She looked me in the eyes and told me that she would never do something like that to me. 2 days ago, a mutual friend heard my side of the story, and they informed me that the New Year's Eve weekend, Jay was actually also at that rave, where he shared a hotel room with Marie and told our mutual friend that he was crazy about her. I feel like I might actually explode from anger. They spent almost an entire year lying to my face and making me feel like I was crazy. By the way, if you're crazy about us, you can join us live every weekday at 3 p.m. PST on YouTube. Just tap our profile. I want to tell him that I know, and I want to tell him how disgusting he is, but our house is still on the market, and he's waiting to file for divorce until it's sold. What should I do? I don't know if burning the bridge would affect how this process will go, if he'll make it more difficult. I really don't know what to do. I typed out a long message to send him, and all my friends want me to, but I'm scared it will make the process difficult. I feel like I'm being eaten alive out of anger and disgust, though. I'm sorry this is long. There's just so much that looking back on was a clear sign, things I didn't even include, and I wanted to believe them so badly, I let it destroy me. What would you guys do? And that is the end of that story. I think it really depends. Like, if you have a lawyer, it might help that you know that there's been infidelity and you have proof of it, or hopefully you have proof of it.
They're waiting to get a divorce because he's going to move out. Is that right?
I think so.
They don't want to be divorced in the same house.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes sense.
So they're trying to
I wouldn't
sell
wanna
this
do that either.
house, and they're like, she's like, I don't know if the divorce proceedings
Mm-hmm.
will be made harder if I, like, you know,
Yeah.
bring this up. I don't want to antagonize him.
Oh, that makes sense.
Find your other friends. Move across the country to be with them.
Yeah, honestly.
Leave this horrible man. He
Oh, my
doesn't deserve
goodness.
anything.
Yeah.
Today I fucked up using my wife's friend's phone and seeing their group chat name.
Ooh.
This is just a fun story.
Okay, all right.
This is fun. Happened last night, was at a get-together with my wife, her friend celebrating the host's birthday. His wife and my wife have been friends for years and teach together. She has an Alexa screen and realized it was giving them updates on orders, including content. Not wanting to ruin Christmas surprises for her kids and asked if I knew how to fix it.
Okay.
No subject in there. The subject wasn't what you initially wanted, but that's fine. Told her I did. Had the same concern with our kids and took her phone to turn off the shipping notifications. While I had her iPhone, a message notification pops up with the header, "My wife's name Swallows," like Jane Smith Swallows. My wife's friends are next to me, so don't... Oh my god. Okay, sorry. My wife's friends are next to me, so they don't open the thread and start snooping. Okay. My wife's friends next to me, so I don't open the thread and start snooping, but internally I'm obviously very concerned. I decide either, 1, my wife's friend actually hates her Mean Girls style, or 2, my wife's in the group and has done something to gain said title. I managed not to say anything and just focus on having a couple beers and watching the NFL game. I'm thinking, well, yeah, she does occasionally, but our sex life isn't that noteworthy. Is she cheating? Etc. We get home and she starts bathing my daughter. I ask for her phone. She gives it to me, no problem. And I open the messaging app. I immediately see a group chat called quote-unquote Swallows. I ask her why it's called that. Apparently there was an inside joke where one of them thought they saw bats in the backyard. Another of them told them that they were clearly swallows.
Oh, all right. Well, that's not... That's...
I didn't realize that when you text a group chat, the notification is quote-unquote sender name, group name.
Oh.
She had been texting her friend from the kitchen, so it popped up displaying my wife's name, Swallows. Naturally, she died laughing and shared my mistake with everyone else.
That's so funny.
Too long didn't read, was using a phone belonging to my wife's friend and coworker. A notification for a group chat comes up that says OP's wife's name Swallows. I spent the evening stressed she cheated on me. Turns out it was her texting a group chat called Swallows, named after a bird-related inside joke.
I feel like that's... I think going to cheating on this one is a little bit like out there, because I feel like who would be that blatant in their like text messages?
I was just like, oh, that sounds like a funny sex joke. I was also like, really, the bird? Like, I really was like, the bird for real?
God damn it, yeah.
Okay, update. OMG, she was really cheating. Just kidding. I know it's... I know it's funny, but quick disclaimer, most of the relationship stories on Reddit are fake, and the real ones are posted because of heartbreak. So don't get tricked into thinking every guy gets cheated on. Go out there and pursue a relationship without being possessive and paranoid. We've been married for 11 years, have 2 kids, and share everything, password, and locations. We've had our ups and downs, but love each other and would never step out. This is just a humorous story of seeing something glaringly sexual on its surface about my wife that ended up completely innocent. I even asked her if she did it as a joke, so it'd say, quote-unquote, X Swallows whenever one of them sent a message, and it never clicked with them. I asked her how she would feel.
Okay,
I
that's
know,
a lie.
I don't get that.
Now she's cheating. Sorry, now that's a lie.
I asked her how she would feel if she borrowed one of my employees' phone and the Uniballer eats ass popped up, and she was howling laughing, but understands why I was concerned for a moment.
Am I the asshole for defending my mom after my boyfriend was rude to her? My boyfriend, 19 male, and I, 19 female, have known each other since we were kids. His mother recently passed away. At his funeral, his sister, 8 female, asked him if she's in heaven now.
Oh.
He said yes. If only this was a nice story and we could end it right
sounds
there.
nice, yeah. Hmm.
My mom told her, though, that she didn't believe in Jesus, so she isn't there. My boyfriend asked my mom, "What's the matter with you?"
Is that it?
No.
Okay.
Now, I know what my mom said was callous. Believe me, I do. I felt for the poor kid. But I'm serious about my boyfriend. I love him, and the fact that he was rude to my mom could cause issues for us in the future.
So that was it. That was all he said that was rude?
That's apparently all, yeah, like, what's the matter with you at his mom's funeral? I love him in the fact that he was rude to my mom could cause issues for us in the future. So I stood up for my mom. I told my boyfriend he can't speak to her that way and said that he has to apologize. I'm going to remind everyone, this is his mom's funeral that we're at right now. He refused to and hasn't talked to me for 2 days now. My dad said that as much as he hates people being rude to my mom was in the wrong. And that's it. That's the end of the post.
Girl, are you being fucking for real right